here I'm tying a fisherman's knot to tie these two cords together so they won't slip. This is going to be a combination 20 meter 40 meter antenna for digital operation, PSK 31 primarily.
Well, we're finishing setting up our mast. We got, as you probably saw, you got all the masts up, and we got the two shelters. These are our voice station shelters, and a couple guys over there just organizing their antenna, and now we're just getting cables sorted out to where coax will go to which antenna mast and so on. So the goal is to set up 10 stations. We're going to have 10 radio stations, 6 voice stations, and 3 Morse code stations, and 1 digital station. And the digital station will will work a number of modes. The primary mode will be PSK 31, and there we go with that. Okay. Here you go, Robbie. And so we're just kind of putting the touches on the first day of setup. Tomorrow morning we'll finish setting up our stuff, bring the radios in, hook them up, set up the computers, establish the network, and then at 2 o'clock we start transmitting. And so for the next 24 hours after that, we try to make as many contacts as possible until 2 o'clock on Sunday afternoon, and then we stop doing that, and we take a break, and we take it all down, pack it all up, and go home like it was never here before.
It's TP, inverted V. It's going to be for 40 meters and 20 meters. So there's 2 antennas. I think that's as far as we're going to go.
Now, what did you say about being careful?
We had to untie the center.
Right.
It's my tent to stay the weekend. Well, I have my own personal stuff, but I left that at home, and be probably running the VHF stations, 6 meters and 2 meters, which are my favorite to work, and then fill in for the HF stations while people are out sleeping. I'll sleep during the day and work all night.
Hi.
How you doing?
Sherry.
Murray.
KB3EUI.
Oh, KB3LZV.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
This weekend, like all clubs in the whole United States, we're out here doing an emergency preparedness exercise and contest and social event, quite frankly, that runs for 24 hours straight, and it is called Field Day. We set up today and tomorrow morning, and then at 2 p.m. local time on the East Coast, we'll start the contest and transmit for the next 24 hours, trying to contact as many stations in the United States and Canada, Mexico, and any other countries that want to join in that 24-hour period. And that just gives us practice doing it outdoors with generators, with emergency power. You know, all our home stations can work the world anytime, and our club station here can talk to people around the world all the time, but this particular event really gives us practice, and so that anytime there's a disaster like a hurricane or a tornado, when we are called to help out, we can do this on the spur of the moment with our equipment, our antennas, radios, generators, whatever we have to bring. When everything else fails, the ham radio operators will be on the air. Well, you see the one down there where the guy in the red shirt is? He's underneath a dipole antenna strung between the two, okay? And these two masts here will have a wire antenna strung between the two. Now, if you look behind us here, all that's the normal club station. We're not allowed to use that during field day. That's our station for when we're really having club activities. And it's also, the tower provides us communications within about 50-mile or greater radius using handheld radios and mobile radios, so we can talk to each other on a day-to-day basis. Now, this is the Yagi antenna, and it's mounted on a military mast, a portable mast that we call the rocket launcher. It has these sections and a little elevator crank thing, and you keep putting one more section in, cranking it up a little bit, put another section in, crank it up, and it gets that Yagi up about 40 feet in the air. And then we can turn it. It's pointed west right now. We hope to use it to work stations on the west coast.
We're going to have hats available for visitors so they can walk around. We want to remind them we want the hats back. Last year when we had Lays at the kids club, several people thought those were permanent gifts and walked off with them. A package for every family that comes in to visit. We want to make sure that we ask, I've got to instruct Holly on this, but we want to make sure we ask them if they got kids or grandkids. We've got a set of comic books in here. We've got an old QST from our stockpile of old QSTs, and we got the new ICOM Zach and Max calendar.
Yeah, this is the club station. It's a little bit of a mess today because of the field day operation, but basically we can talk all over the world from here. And the cards you see on the wall are called QSL cards. We exchange them with other radio stations as proof of two-way contact. And let's see, there's some from the Netherlands, Germany, Sweden, Hungary. Here's a bunch of them from the States. Here's one from Connecticut, one from Virginia. Probably all 50 states, I would be reasonably sure, represented on that board. And this is a map of grid squares. When you're talking to people on VHF or UHF, you can get their grid square more specific than a state. This radio amateur's map of the world has all the prefixes for the call signs, and you might want to get a shot of those. But this is where we can operate, members can operate if they don't have their own home station, or if we're here for a contest, other radio operating events, we operate from here as well.